What up, everybody? I'm out here doing this video for a friend. All my subscribers, you guys are my friends. So somebody reached out and said, hey, can you take a look at the Dodge Journey for me? So here I am looking at a Dodge Journey for you guys. So I'm not going to say the names, but they want to know what I thought about a Dodge Journey because they was interested in getting one, because she's not ready to be considered a soccer mom, but she needs a vehicle that allows her to cover her 3 children and her significant other when they go out and travel. So she wanted something that held space, was very reliable, and wouldn't technically be a minivan because she don't want to be labeled as a soccer mom. So she said, what do I think of the Dodge Journey? I'm gonna give you a quick review and breakdown of it and let you know what I really think of this Dodge Journey. Okay, now let's get into this Dodge Journey. My subscriber reached out, I did what I had to do to get one, so I'm gonna tell you more about it. This Dodge Journey, as you probably hear me say over and over again, especially for the person that reached out, is it really does have an SUV presence based off the design concepts. The one I got right here has a sunroof. To me, it's not a standout road presence designed vehicle to dominate or attract your attention, but it is a vehicle built to give you what you need for space, quality, and reliability, along with the comforts and convenience of driving a small, what I would say like to mid-level or intermediate SUV, if there's such a class, but that's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it the intermediate or small SUV, but this car would do the job in that category. So as we look at this Dodge Journey, it's what they consider a crossover. Crossovers are more SUVs and minivans merged together. This Dodge Journey, if you ask me, no soccer mom intended, is more towards the minivan side, but it has the capabilities and the ride of an SUV. So you still have that classification that technically I'm not in a minivan. As we look at the Dodge Journey, what I like about it from this point of view is it has a clean appeal. It almost reminds you of a lower Jeep Grand Cherokee. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it, especially if you look at it from the side view. Let's take a look at the side. If you look at it from this view, it has more of the old school boxier Grand Cherokee before they switched to the, I want to say the currently 2020 / maybe 2014 start run. But it has more of the older runs you saw in the early 2000s, around the 2006, 2007 Grand Cherokee body lines. So again, getting you away from that minivan feel and more like an SUV. If you look at the height of the vehicle, it's low enough not to require running boards, but yet high enough to not sit down too low where you feel like, again, it's a minivan or you're on the ground. That's another added benefit of a crossover between an SUV and a minivan. Most SUVs may sit a little bit higher. Crossovers sit in the middle. Minivans sit a lot lower. So because you're in the crossover market, you don't get those type of aspects to be concerned about. This Dodge Journey is really not a bad vehicle. As you take a look at the inside.
Most people that will consider this vehicle will consider it because of its passenger carrying value. So let's get right into the nitty-gritty of it. Looking at the back seats, if you pull this lever right here, it easily slides forward the seat so you can access the third row. Unfortunately, on the side with the driver, you can't really recline your seat. So let's fix that real quick. As we move up the seat, now we can come back, slide the access point a little further, and you can see 2 seats in the back, 2 cup holders in the back. It's actually a seating space for 2 individuals. I wouldn't recommend full-size adults, but anybody around the height of 5'3" or less may fit back here perfectly with no problem. Now, as easy as it was to enter the vehicle, I will show you how simple it is to just close it back up. You pull the seat back, you slide the seat back, push the seating pad down, and then to get your leg room back, you just pull this lever right here and slide it back perfectly. Now, one of the things I did forget to mention as we was looking at the other side of the vehicle, if you want to lay the seat down flat so you can get more carrying capacity and cargo volume, simply pull this lever right here and it folds forward easily. Now as we walk around and look at the back of the vehicle is very simple. You can recline the seats about another 2 inches by simply pulling this tab. And if you lift up on the tab again and push it forward, you can lay the seats flatly down. Again, I'll demonstrate it again on the other side of the vehicle. Lift up the tab to recline it 2 inches, and then lift up the tab again, and you can push it forward. And it'll easily fold, headrests will drop on their own. You don't have to pull it back to recline it first. You can simply just lift up on it and push it forward if you want. Another thing to note, one of the benefits of doing this is because with the seats up, you're looking at approximately about 18 inches of cargo space or 18 inches on the lip. So it's not a lot of space that the vehicle can carry with its back seats up. With the seats folded flatly down, you can easily pull them back up by simply grabbing the strap, pulling the seat, it pops back up above the headrest. And again, now you have your seating capacity back. Now as we look at the inside of the vehicle, let's take a look at the gauge cluster or the center console. The center console is pretty much the same as any infotainment system on any Dodge vehicle these days. You got the radio, phone attachments, the controls, the climate controls, settings, and so forth. The one thing about this is to get the full use of the climate system, you have to access it through the infotainment system. At the same point in time, there is also a quick reference menu for the climate controls right up under it. Now, this knob here is for the volume. The other two are for controls for the separate climate zone. Yes, this vehicle has dual climate zone, and you can control the fan speed. Also, for those people that are not ready to get into the push button aspect of the vehicle, there is a gear shifter. There's still a CD player for those who still have CDs and like to carry their music with them. There's also an auxiliary input and a USB connection to help charge your phone. As we go to the center console, you can see there's a small tray and there's still some access space in there.
I won't lie to you. I might have should have did this review in Chicago, but the weather was terrible. So I got out to Houston to get more in depth with this Dodge Journey. As you see the NRG Stadium in the background, I needed a warm climate, a change of climate, because it's kind of hard to get into car reviews this late in the year, talking about January, February timeline, because we got a lot of snow in Chicago. So now I'm out here in this warm weather talking to you about this Dodge Journey. And the more I look at this car, the more I'm around this car, I realize it's really not a bad vehicle. Let's get into the drive. I will say there is slight vibration from the engine. You feel it through the car, but that's not too bad. Again, this is not a brand new vehicle. It is a used vehicle. This vehicle has about 19,000 miles on it. That's not terribly bad. Still up under warranty. It's a 2019. It's February 2021. So in theory, it is a 2-year-old vehicle, 20,000 miles. Actually 19 and some change, but we'll just say 20. It's still up under manufacturer's warranty, so you still have some coverage there. And if you was looking to purchase one used, because this would be a used vehicle, you can extend that warranty and get you a couple more years of coverage, which can always be a benefit. So I do like the touchscreen in the middle for the infotainment system. It's not bad, it's not small, it's almost the perfect size to get done what you need to be done. I'm in everyday traffic, as we like to call this right now, driving in Houston. Not bad, great petrons. I'm not really concerned. I don't feel like I have a lack of power, and I don't feel like it's not what I need. So looking at it from that aspect, I think this is actually a very nice vehicle. The ride quality isn't smooth like a luxury vehicle, but it's not expected to be. It feels more like a SUV. You know, I've driven X5s, Range Rovers, I've driven Explorers, Trailblazers. This has, to me, the same ride of a Jeep Cherokee, a Ford Explorer. Yeah, it's not bad. I really believe that if you purchase this vehicle, if you get this vehicle, you won't be disappointed with this vehicle, because you won't feel like a soccer mom. You won't feel like you're driving a minivan. Yet, it's not an overwhelming of an SUV, and it has great presence and, I would say, space of an SUV. And for a person with a mid-sized family, this would be a great chance. This would be a great vehicle to purchase. It was driving over rough terrain and handling just like a SUV should. Dodge, you kind of did good with this one. I give props when props is due. So as we continue along our journey, I've driven the Dodge Caravan. I've driven the Chrysler Pacifica, which is pretty much the same manufacturer when it comes to this Dodge journey. And there are a lot of similarities, but there are yet a lot of differences. I feel like you get a lot of the capacity and space for passenger travel inside this van as you kind of would with a Caravan or a Journey, but there are no stow and go features. It really is set up like an SUV, so it's more sharing that Jeep platform line. Also with this vehicle, you don't have the same cargo space with the third row up that you would have with a minivan. So that's part of the drawback of being a crossover, because it's meant to have more of an SUV presence. So you lose some of that space that if you had a minivan and was traveling with your family, you could take advantage of. Well, this is not a minivan, so you have to kind of expect that part. Overall, I really like the vehicle. I think it would be a great purchase for somebody with a new family starting out. You're not trying to spend a lot of money on a high name, big brand presence like Mercedes or BMW or something of that nature. You just want to get a solid vehicle to take you and your family around, because that's what you need, something to travel around with your family, maybe to sporting events, take the kids out. This is that vehicle. It's a very nice vehicle, and it definitely would address those needs. If you're looking for something bigger, this is probably not it. But if you're looking for something that's easy to navigate through towns, especially if you live in like a city atmosphere where you're always in tight traffic, this is a nice vehicle. If you have to parallel park, this is a nice vehicle. If you're out in the city and you just have to weave through traffic, this is a nice vehicle. This is a perfect vehicle for somebody that's in a metropolitan area. So if you live in metropolitan USA and you need something that's condensed in the right size for you to do what you got to do every day, look at this Dodge Journey. You can save some money, especially on the used side, because a lot of the depreciation has hit, and it won't cost you major bucks to get behind the wheel of this SUV. Just drove over train tracks, not too bad. It won't cost you a lot of money to get behind the wheels of this SUV. And I'm pretty sure you'll be impressed with what you get for the money. Take a look at the Dodge Journey if you're in the market for an intermediate SUV. Yes, it's truly a crossover, but I guarantee you may be surprised at what you get in this little small package. Most people will not be upset with considering this vehicle for an option. I appreciate your time. Thank you for coming out. ICNV Drivers Edition, getting behind the wheels for people like you and for the people that requested. I like the presence. I like the ride. It's very comfortable. It handles bumps well. We were just driving over a really rough area. They're doing construction out here, so a lot of the roads isn't finished, and yet you didn't really see no rocking, or it didn't feel uncomfortable. It felt like an SUV doing what it was supposed to do. Dodge might have hit a home run with this one.